In 2005, the Suzuki Grand National Cross Country Series was bigger than ever, but it ultimately boiled down to just two riders battling for the coveted championship, the Killer Bees of Bill Balance and Chris Borich. Borich, the young gun, had the speed, but ultimately consistency won the title as Bill Balance emerged with his 6th Grand National Cross Country crown.
My name is Rachel Ayers with Racer TV. We're here at the opening round of the Grand National Cross Country Series in De Leon Springs, Florida. Here with me is Rodney Smith, 5-time GNCC champion. Rodney, this has always been one of the most difficult tracks. Why is that?
Well, definitely Florida being the opening round of the GNCC Series, it brings two equations into the factor. We got one, Florida being sand. It's going to be a lot rougher track than what we're used to. And two, being the opening round of the GNCC Series. Everybody's new and they're fresh. They got new equipment. And everybody's got something to prove out there. So it's you got the old guys that are trying to come back and win another championship, and you got the young guns that are fighting for that #1 plate.
Speaking of young boys, who do you see our competition being today?
Well, definitely Chris Jinks. He was probably the most improved rider of last year, and he's got something to prove. He came out strong at the end of last year, and Chris Borich is also coming off a good season. And you know, you got William Yoakley on the new RMZ Suzuki, and you know, you can't count out Bill Balance, a 6-time GNCC champion.
Well, thanks, Ronnie, for your advice. Let's head down to the start and see what Jason has going down there.
Well, thanks a lot, Rachel and Rodney. We are down here at the starting line. The best ATV riders in the world have gathered. But before we go racing, let's take an in-depth look at this racetrack. We're going to check it out through the eyes of our Scott helmet cam. And the very first obstacle, a triple jump. On the gas for these sections, you have to stay on the gas. That saps a lot of energy, but as soon as you back off in one of these roof sections, the bike slows down, you catch a front wheel, and you're going down hard. So it's definitely a challenging track as we zoom back toward the finish line. That's going to do it for our Scott helmet cam. We got to get back down to the start. We're ready to go racing. All right, that's the track. These are the riders. They're about to fire up the engines, and this 2006 GNCC Series is about to get underway. All right, the season is underway. Dead engine start. They file into turn 1. Bill Balance out front, but Chris Borich working him over on the inside, and he will grab the ITP Whole Shot Award, just getting into the lead as they exit turn 1. And now we're beginning to head into the woods. And if you don't have a good start, you're going to have a real fight in your hands getting through all that dust and all those riders in a very tight traffic. Here we go into turn 1. Balance out front, but Borich breaks early, gets on the gas early, and just gets over the stripe in time to grab that ITP Whole Shot Award. And now you see Borich on the #2 in the lead. Balance right behind him and looking down at his machine. Everyone trying to just keep themselves dry as they go through some of those muddy sections. They water parts of the track early, and it will get dusty later on in the day. There you see Matt Smiley trying to work his way up, way back in the pack. He's got his work cut out for him to try to pass all these riders, several hundred riders on hand. So here it is, the Killer Bees, as expected. Chris Borich out front, Bill Balance doing the chasing, and there is Chris Jinks and William Yoakley there as well. So everyone that Rodney Smith predicted would be contenders at the beginning of this show, they are running 1, 2, 3, 4 right now. Everyone else trying to jockey for position and get up toward the front of the pack early. It's going to take a lot of energy out of those guys. Meanwhile, Borich already in control. Look at this sand pit section through here. Kind of represents a motocross track. And Balance already losing contact, and there you see why. Making a few mistakes. Balance looking around, trying to figure out where to Borich go. Is he getting any pressure from the third place rider? That's Yoakley on that factory Suzuki. And Yoakley actually debuting the LTR 450 quad racer out here, this first race on it. It's John Natale. He is our national motocross champ racing out here. Dwayne Johnson, a rookie in the pro class, running in the #6 spot. And Brian Cook, he was one of the outstanding riders a few years ago. Ran into some problems last year trying to rebuild his career. Adam McGill, our Pro-Am champion last season. He is a rookie in the pro class and racing in the top 10 with Brandon Balance. That is Bill Balance's younger brother. They go back out front. There you see the distinctive iron cross bumper of Chris Borich. And Balance just trying to hang on to him, just trying to keep him within sight. These are long races. Yoakley and Balance there. Yoakley in the #3 spot. Don't want to let Borich get away. But if he does, there will be lap traffic to deal with later. So even if Borich builds up a lead now, he is not safe on this track. You tag one of those trees, and you're going for a ride. As you see how that ATV kicks left to right, it's very hard to keep it in between the tree sections, and maybe Balance is just playing it a little bit more conservatively early in this race and early in the season. Now keep in mind, no practice or pre-running at the GNCC. This is old-fashioned woods racing, so the first time these guys see the racetrack, that's right now on the first lap of racing. Number 15, that's Dwayne Johnson. They're just trying to hang on and stay in the top 10. There's Brian Cook, new colors for him this year. And number 6, that's Brandon Balance. That was his best performance ever, nationally, number 6. Earned that one last year. With Brian Baker, a veteran out of Missouri, on the number 7. All chasing this guy. 1 12-mile lap in the books for Chris Borich. And you hear the people cheering. Borich did dominate here in Florida last year, and he wants to do it again in 2006. Yoakley has now moved into the number 2 spot on that Suzuki. Only been riding that machine for about 2 weeks. They slapped some shocks, an exhaust pipe, and some tires on there and said, this thing's race ready. Let's bring it to Florida and see if we can get her done. And so far, so good for William Yoakley. And Bill Balance struggling now, dropping from 2nd to 5th. We'll see if he can make up ground when we return. Welcome back. It's Suzuki Grand National Cross Country action from the Orange Crush, the Suzuki GNCC in De Leon Springs, Florida. Now, if you're wondering where all these pros come from, here's a clue. We have a youth race every morning before we race the Pro ATVs. These are for riders age 6 through 15, and it's a good opportunity for these kids to go out and do their best impressions of Bill Balance, Chris Borich, William Yoakley, and the rest. Standing up, yeah, picking good lines, getting around the sand whoops. Other guys just charging right through it. Just a scale model version of what the pros are doing out there on the track right now. But you know what? As much fun as the adults have out here, I think the kids probably have that much more fun, especially when they get to go up on the podium. And that's right, we bring the top 3 overall up there, we give them medals, we give them big trophies, we treat them just like the big boys, because someday that's where they're going to be. But for the moment, Chris Borich is the rider to beat. It doesn't matter if it's pro, it's youth, it's amateur, he is leading it overall right now. Yoakley has moved into a comfortable number 2 position, and Chris Jenks now in 3rd, taking advantage of the problems we saw our champion Bill Balance suffer on lap 1. Now here's Natali. Let's talk about him. He is a motocross champion who's trying GNCC, and you figure he'll be very comfortable on this rough, wide open racetrack. Not as comfortable as Borich, though. Notice the riding style way out over the front of the machine. It's kind of an advanced way to ride. People talk about the evolution of riding. The riders continue to move further and further forward over the machines as the suspension gets more sophisticated. They can stay forward and keep their momentum going in that direction, and they don't have to worry about being thrown over the handlebars because they have come so far with the chassis and the suspension development of these ATVs. Chris Borich taking advantage of that. Yoakley in the number 2 spot. We talked about that evolution. This is an all-new race machine that Suzuki has debuted for 2006, and Yoakley's making it work. There is Jenks back there in 3rd. There's Natali, and now Balance starting to pick up the pace. He is now caught up to Natali. We essentially have our 2 ATV national champions battling for that 4th place spot as Brian Cook moves into 6th. Get a look at the leaderboard beneath us with a scroll. You can see who's out front. It is Borich, and Yoakley going through the same section, but a little mistake there in that corner, trying to keep it between those trees, and Yoakley just not hanging out quite as far. Jenks here looks pretty aggressive. Actually, sorry, that was Brian Cook looking very aggressive through that section, and there is Jenks. So Cook has now moved up into the number 3 position, and you saw why. He attacked that section very aggressively. Oh, there's Brandon Balance there on the number 6. That's the least aggressive way to get through that section. He actually stalls the engine on that factory Yamaha, and you see what happens. If you lose your momentum, then the quad starts kicking back and forth. You've got to keep the speed up and stay on top of all these sand whoops. And it gets tough when you're in lap traffic, and that's what Borich is hitting right now. Yoakley, this is going to be his opportunity to close the gap. He still has open racetrack. If he can nail it through this section and carry that momentum into the woods while Borich is being held up, we might have a battle for the lead. There's Brandon Balance recovering. The machine seems to be running strong now. Not sure what happened earlier. Want to keep your machine running strong? Let's check out our Motorsport Hot Product of the Week.
Hi, I'm Pro ATV racer Tim Farr. I'm here with Donnie Luce from White Brothers today. We're going to talk about the Carbon Pro exhaust systems that our team uses.
Thanks, Tim. We have our Carbon Pro exhaust, which started life with American Honda back in '02 in the motocross scene. We transitioned over with Tim last year and was able to help him win his 10th national championship. It has a stainless steel head pipe, stainless steel mid pipe, billet aluminum inlet, and also mounting brackets. It has a square clips patented design carbon fiber can. It has a magnesium end cap with a billet aluminum adjustable end tips. These tips are also adjustable for the particular track needs or the particular style of the rider.
Thanks, Donnie. This is really a great, lightweight, high-performance product. It's available at motorsport.com.
Welcome back, Suzuki GNCC action from Florida, and our champion is in the pits. Mechanical trouble. Let's find out what happened.
I was laying back on the first lap trying to take it easy. I made that mistake by charging here too hard last year. And I laid loose the first lap and then decided just to start making my move, and I passed both those, pulled away from them in no time, and started picking up the dust of, I assume, Yoakley probably. And going through the whoop section, the bike just shot out from underneath me. The tie rod broke. So we're putting one back on there, and now with every race counting, I'm going to go back out and see what kind of points I can get.
Well, that's right. Every race counts. A 13-round National Championship Series. We start here in Florida. We work our way all the way up north before this season is over. And Balance knows the points that he loses here in Florida could make a huge difference by the fall when we crown our champion. Brian Cook, great riding, has moved into third. We saw him get by Chris Jenks, and Cook is on the move. There's Natali still in the mix as well. Now you wonder about Natali's endurance. You know he's in great shape, but he doesn't train for 2-hour races like this. He trains for 20-minute motos, so we'll see where his fitness is later on in this event. Right now, though, everything going Chris Borch's way, and if he does get tired just a little bit, he's built up enough of a cushion where he can actually back it down. Here is our second-place rider, Yoakley, on that all-new Suzuki. Looks pretty comfortable on that machine. You figure he's actually probably adjusting during the race and taking some mental notes as some setup adjustments maybe for our next round in Georgia. Now Jenks has taken over the number 3 spot again. Not sure what happened to Brian Cook. And Brandon Balance, been a long day already for him. Had some problems earlier. He has persevered and moved into 4th. So he's gotten around Natali. Here it is, pit stop number 1 for Borch, our leader. No alarm in the East Coast ATV Honda pits whatsoever. It is business as usual, just like it was last year in Florida. He's got a nice size lead. Yoakley's in the pits as well. They're talking it over. I would not be surprised if they actually try to make some mechanical adjustments at the end of 2 laps here for Yoakley. That is an all-new machine. Now, it's been about 2.5 years that Borch has been on the Honda, and he's gotten that machine completely dialed in. Yoakley not too bad for a debut ride there, but you wonder, is Yoakley going to try to run him down? Was he conserving on his energy, and will he make a charge now that we've reached the halfway point of this very, very rough race? Now it is Jenks in 3rd. We check out our Suzuki leaderboard. Balance is in 4th, and the Rock, Dwayne Johnson, new to the pro class, is moving into the number 5 position. There is Johnson. We got a report that Cook went over the handlebars and crashed. He's actually got a shoulder injury and will not get back into this race. So Brian Cook, who was charging so strong early and moved into the number 3 position, unfortunately is now out for the day. And Jenks will gladly take that 3rd place away from him. And now Balance has caught Jenks. Balance has caught Jenks. He can see the dust, and that's what motivates these guys. You don't want to ride into the dust, of course, but you know the reward for that is 1 more position. And maybe someone will see the dust of this guy, Chris Borch, because he's leaving them in it right now. Let's talk to his father, Joe.
Yeah, but he thinks he's going to put more of a whooping on him this year. Last year we had some problems at the end of the race here. Filter blocked up, slowed him down a little bit, but he thinks he's going to do better this year.
Well, so far, everything going to plan for Team Borch. Chris has got that East Coast ATV Honda dialed in. He's got the number 2 plate. And they are focused on one thing and one thing only, and that is dropping that in half and turning it into a number 1. And this is how you do it. You build up a big lead at round 1. You got Yoakley right behind you, but way back out of the points right now is our champ, Bill Balance. If Borch wins this one and puts 30 points on Balance today, that could be a disaster. He can already start being more conservative during these races. He won't have to try to beat Balance every week, and he tried to do that last year and it bit him. So this could be a major turning point, and we are just getting started. How about Chris Bithell here on the yellow machine? Bithell, riding for Team Looney Tune, and Bithell raced our Pro-Am class last year. He is a rookie in the pro field. So much young talent moving up here into our ATV ranks in GNCC. We're happy to see it. Guys like Yoakley, well, he probably would rather just be his old buddies out there racing because he's got to deal with young guns. You know, Brandon Balance is relatively new to this as well, and it looks like Brandon now wants to run down Yoakley. Now Yoakley's pulling into the pits. Not sure exactly why they need to gas up 2 laps in a row, but again, they're just experimenting with this new machine, and they're doing some work here. I don't know what exactly is happening. Fresh Scott goggles for sure. Yoakley's in, Yoakley's out. Again, perhaps making some mechanical adjustments. You can actually adjust the suspension on these machines just by tuning a couple of dials on the shocks, and maybe they've made some adjustments. Here comes Brandon Balance to the number 3 spot, and the number 4 is number 4 right now. Talk about Chris Jenks. He's from West Virginia, and he always says early in the season he has to round himself into shape. Now, wait a minute. We've got a report that Balance, who we just saw come by in 3rd, has crashed. His crew chief is out there trying to get, well, we've got some innocent bystanders. So Brandon has crashed somewhere in the woods. Only these guys were able to witness it. We think we've got some footage of that crash. All right, they're going back to the Yamaha pits and trying to re-rack it, and we've got footage. Look at this. Oh! And he took a heck of a hit, not just from the ground, but he actually smashed his helmet on the handlebars. I cannot believe Brandon Balance is back up. He looks dazed, he looks confused. He's not even trying to get back near that YFZ 450. Let's watch this. Oh! Chin bar right off of the helmet and then smacks the ground. He has got to be dazed and confused right now. And a disaster because Brandon Balance was strong in the number 3 spot, and I thought he was going after Yoakley to try to get into 2nd. No, wait a minute. Brandon Balance is back out of the racetrack. I cannot believe after that hit that Balance has gotten himself back up. He's climbing over the logs. He's into the number 4 position. But we'll be back. White flag is out, normally the most dramatic part of a GNCC, but today the damage has already been done. Chris Borich taking the lead right in the first turn of the race, and he has pulled away with it. The real story is all the problems of all the riders behind him. Bill Balance, mechanical issues. Balance's brother Brandon rolling over his quad. William Yoakley, smooth, steady pace, but not able to run with Borich. John Natale, mechanical issues. Everyone has had problems today. Chris Borich, he's making this thing look easy. Well, he's making it look easy. It really isn't. You see, he's still got to wrestle a nearly 400-pound ATV over some deep sand whoops. I think William Yoakley's just waiting for the checkered flag to come out now. He's hot. He's tired. Of course, it's humid down here in Florida, and this sand saps more energy than any other terrain you could ride on. And how about this? Brandon Balance has picked himself up, and he is on the charge. Up on the pegs, head over the handlebars. He is going for a podium position. I cannot believe that, considering how hard a crash he took. Borich maintaining the lead. He looks behind. He sees absolutely no one. Yoakley, well, Yoakley would be happy to take 2nd on that new machine. Although he does stall the LTR 450. He gets it back fired up. Yoakley maybe just wanted a little bit of a rest break there. So here is Jenks in 3rd. Now he's all alone. I don't think he's going after Yoakley, and he probably has no idea that Balance is on the charge. But look, Balance working the right side of the racetrack, trying to find smooth lines. He's experimenting. He wants a piece of the podium. Bithell, a rookie. This is his first race ever in the pro class, and he is in the top 5. Very impressive for that young rider. There was a time when Borich was a rookie as well. He has learned his lessons, and he knows what to do here to hold on to the finish. He knows where Yoakley is. Yoakley's still on the gas. Oh, wait a minute, we've got a pass. Balance has gotten around Jenks. I cannot believe this. What a charge. Now you see Jenks using different lines. He wants to get him back. Borich out front. Valuable championship points on the line for the riders battling behind him. Yoakley in 2nd has a few lap riders to get around, but what is happening behind him in that 3rd place position? And it's Jenks. Jenks has taken it back from Balance now. He was able to respond, maybe conserving late in the race. He has turned it up. Does Balance have anything left in the tank to go after him? And how about Bithell? Bithell is actually able to see these guys, and if they tangle up, he'll be on the podium today. Checkered flag is out, and Chris Borich has won, and he's done it in dominant fashion here at the Suzuki Orange Crush GNCC. What a performance by Chris Borich.
Chris, you don't even look tired.
Nah, I feel pretty good. I probably could have did another couple laps, but my hand started getting a little sore, but felt pretty good.
But just cruising back there, the back worked good. I just trying to hang on. It's always tough starting to race out the season out. And it's rough a track. This track just got more brutal and brutal every lap. But,
happy for third, yeah. Had some trouble out there. I went end over end down here, not too far from the finish on the end of the second to last lap. And couldn't get my bike going, sat there for probably 30 seconds and found out it was my kill switch had come loose. So yeah, it knocked me a little silly, and then it actually come out again on the last lap, and Jinx got back around me, so I had to chase him back down, and I got around him probably about 2.5 miles to go. Got for third. Yeah.
Tough day. That's all. Tough day.
Very.
And that sums it up. A very tough day for Brandon Balance, but he is rewarded with third place. And how about an eighth? Bill Balance coming all the way back, scoring 8th place points, keeping this rider, Chris Borich, in his sights for this championship. It'll be a long campaign. Stay with us all season long on the Outdoor Life Network for GNCC Racing.
The Grand National Cross Country Championship is sanctioned by the American Motorcyclist Association. Rights, Riding, Racing. AMA. Join now.